waters. Today I shall be doing the poem Lord Ullin'S Daughter by Thomas Campbell. Lord Ullin'S Daughter by Thomas Campbell is a ballad, very well known, very popular and very easy to understand and rhyme. The poem deals with the theme of love on one side of the two lovers, and on the other hand the rigid attitude shown by the girl's father, and which results in an ultimate tragedy for the lovers. That's what the poem is all about. So without wasting much time, let's go into the poem. So the line starts with a chieftain of the highlands bound. Chieftain means chief belonging to the highlands. A chieftain of the highlands bound. Later on we'll come to know the name of the island, but so far he is the chief of one of the islands. Cries, boatman, do not tarry. Says, boatman, do not tarry, do not wait, do not delay, and I'll give thee a silver pound to row us over the ferry. Silver pound, a silver currency, a silver coin, I will give you if you row us over the ferry, across the ferry. So that is what is being said. So here the chieftain tries to lure or bribe or tempt the boatman into going out into the sea. Now, who be ye would cross Lochiel, this dark and stormy water. So who are you to cross Lochiel at this point of time? In this dark and stormy water, when the storm is about to raise, the dark clouds in the sky, it's growing intensely bleak in terms of the stormy weather. So who are you that you are asking to cross the river at such a point of time, the stormy waters? Oh, I am the chief of Ulva's Isle. Now we get the identity of the chieftain. He is the chief of the island of Ulva, U-L-V-A. Ulva's Isle, that's the island of which he is the chief. And this Lord Ullin'S daughter. And with me, this lady, she is Lord Ullin'S daughter. And fast, before our father's men, 3 days we have fled together. So for 3 days they have been running and fleeing from whom? From the guards, from the security personnel, from the men who belong or who are faithful to Lord Ullin. They have been searching for this lover and the daughter. 3 days they have been running. Flee means to run away. So they have been running for 3 days like this. And fast, be quick, otherwise her father's men will be here very soon. For should he find us in the glen, my blood would stain the heather. Should they find us in this glen, in this area which is full of vegetation, in this valley, you can say the glen, my blood would stain the heather. My blood would stain all this vegetation. There would be bloodshed, there would be a fight, and in that fight this lover would be wounded. There would be blood spread all around, and the vegetation around will be filled up with blood. His horsemen hard behind us ride. Hard behind us ride means the horsemen of Lord Ullin. They are riding very fast behind us. Should they our steps discover, and once they find out the footsteps or the horse steps as to where we have gone, then who will cheer my bony bride when they have slain her lover? Bony bride, my beautiful bride, here she will be extremely sad. She will be depressed, she will be heartbroken. Who is going to cheer her up then? When they have slain her lover. Again, slain is an Old English word used for killed. So once they have slain or killed her lover, that is me, the chieftain says, once they have killed me before her eyes, who is going to cheer her up? Of course she is going to be very sad. It's quite natural. Then who is going to cheer her up? Outspoke the hardy Highland White. That hardy, strong and very hard working, that is hardy. Highland White, that Highland boatman, worker, he spoke. I'll go, my chief, I'm ready. He says, don't worry, chief, I will go. Don't worry, I will go, my chief. It's not for your silver bride, but for your winsome lady. But don't think I am going just because you have tempted me with that silver pound. going to give you. No, it's not because of that. Because of your winsome lady. This winsome lady, this beautiful lady, she is a lady in distress. So to help her, I am ready to go and ferry you across. And by my word, the bony bird in danger shall not tarry. Don't worry, this bony bird, this lady, here she is compared to a beautiful bird, a delicate bird. So as a delicate bird, you hold in your hand. Similarly, it says you are holding the hand of a very delicate and beautiful lady. In danger shall not tarry. Because you are in danger, I will not tarry. So though the waves are raging white, I'll row you over the ferry. I'll row you over the ferry, although it is a stormy weather. And how do you know it is a stormy weather? The waves are raging white. The waves are all white in color. That means there's a lot of spray, there's a lot of foam all around that is causing this. By this, the storm grew loud apace. The water rain was shrieking. And just as he said this, the storm grew loud apace. The storm as if gathered speed and momentum. Okay, the storm grew speed and momentum. It as if grew in pace. Its intensity increased. The water wraith was shrieking, as if the water giant in the waters was crying out loudly, angrily, in anger, as if it was a water giant. And in the scowl of heaven, each face grew dark as they were speaking. As they were speaking, what happened? The scowl of heaven, the sky, the face of heaven is the sky. Okay, so the scowl of heaven refers to the intense dark clouds. Now when the sky is clear, there are no clouds, it's a clear blue sky, we say the sky is smiling. Okay, now here the sky is full of dark clouds, there's a lot of intensity out there because of the storm which is about to come. And scowl of heaven, that means the face was very angry, very full of a terrible face, a scowling face, an angry, disgruntled kind of a face. Each face grew dark. And each of these faces, how do you count the face? The clouds, one after the other, they were all very dark. So those dark clouds seem to be presenting to us a very angry picture of the sky. That the sky is very angry, it is scowling and it is looking down angrily at us. But still as wilder blew the wind, and as the night grew drearer, so gradually the wind grew wilder and wilder. The intensity increased of the wind. As the night grew drearer. Drearer means it grew darker and darker all the more. There was no stars or moon in the sky, as you know, because of the clouds. It's a total cloud cover. There is no light. It is growing darker and darker. Down the glen rode armed men. Their trampling sounded nearer. Down the glen, down the valley came armed men. Who are these armed men? These armed men are the soldiers or the guards belonging to Lord Ullin'S. Their trampling sounded nearer. They could hear very close the trampling sound of the horses, the hoofs of the horses. Oh, haste thee, haste, the lady cries. Though tempests round us gather. The lady is now very much disturbed, and she's saying, oh, haste, haste means very quick, come on, be quick. Though tempests round us gather. Tempest means storm. Okay, tempest means storm. Tempests round us gather. Around us, storms are gathering. I meet the raging of the skies, but not an angry father. I am ready to face the stormy weather, the stormy skies. I am ready to face, but I am not ready to face my angry father. I cannot face him. I am ready to face this turbulence of the storm and the seas. The boat has left a stormy land, a stormy sea before her. The land was stormy because there was a strong wind blowing and all that. There was the turbulence of the waves, and in spite of that, it started the journey. A stormy sea before her. The sea out before her was very stormy. When too strong for human hand, the tempest gathered over her. And before the power of nature, man is helpless. So similarly, this boat was also powerless before that strong power of the storm, and it was helpless. The tempest gathered over her, the stormy waves kind of lashed about her, or took this small boat in its grip. Took this small boat in its grip. because it was too strong for human hand. Humans cannot control the storm. The storm is way beyond human control. And that is why this boat, when it set out in this seas, it was meant to be doomed. It was meant for destruction. It was meant to be destroyed. So when it reached a little bit away into the seas, the tempest caught hold of it. And it was powerless. No man, no human hand was strong enough to release it. And still they rowed amidst the roar of waters fast prevailing. The water was rising fast, high above, big waves. But still they were rowing in the midst of it. Lord Ullin reached the fatal shore. His wrath was changed to wailing. Then finally, along with his armed men, the girl's father, that is Lord Ullin, he reached the shore. And his wrath was changed to wailing. What is wrath? Wrath means anger. Another old English word, archaic word. His wrath. His wrath means his anger. Whose anger? Lord Ullin's anger was changed to wailing. Wailing means crying. Again another old English word. He was left lamenting. He was left being sad. His anger, his wrath has changed to wailing. He was now repentant. He was very sorry on seeing the condition out there in the sea, where his daughter is out there in the boat, which is in the grip of a storm. So all his anger over his daughter, and that the fact that she had run away without telling him, and with a lover of her choice, and all this was gone. That anger, that wrath was gone. It was now converted to wailing. He was crying, he was lamenting. What have you done, my daughter? You have gone out there in the stormy weather. He is lamenting. For sore dismayed through storm and shade, his child he did discover. He was sorely dismayed. He was extremely dismayed and sad and dejected through storm and shade. Storm and shade, the turbulence of the seas. In that strong stormy weather, he could finally see his daughter. His child he did discover. He finally discovered or saw his child. One lovely hand she stretched for aid, and one was around her lover. She stretched out one hand towards her lover. She stretched one hand she put round her lover. She was holding on to her lover very closely with one hand, and the other hand she stretched out for aid. Aid means for help. So one hand she stretched out towards her father, who was standing at the shore, for help. That father, please help me, rescue me from this storm. One hand, and the second hand she was holding her lover very tightly, very close. Come back, he cried in grief across this stormy water. He cried to his daughter, and he shouted and he said, come back, my daughter, come back. Come back across these stormy waters, come back. And I'll forgive your highland chief, my daughter, oh my daughter. Your highland chief I will forgive, don't worry. I will forgive your highland chief. My daughter, you come back, oh my daughter. He was left lamenting. But had he not done all these things earlier, maybe the situation would have been different. But he did not do that. Now he laments and he says to his daughter, come back, I will forgive you, I will forgive your lover, that highland chief, I will forgive you both, come back. It was vain. It was vain means it was vain. That means it was useless. Vain means useless. It was of no use. The loud waves lashed the shore. The loud waves hit the shore. The return or aid preventing. That means the meaning here is the waves were so big and strong that no aid. Aid means no help. No help could be given from the shores to the people out there in the storm. That means Lord Ullin could in no way go out into the sea and help his daughter. Number one. Number two, the return or aid. Return or aid. So aid I have told you. Return means the strong stormy weather. The strong stormy waves and sea prevented his daughter and the lover and the boat from returning back. So it was a no-way traffic. Okay, like his daughter who was there in the stormy sea, she couldn't return to the shore. Number one. Number two, her father, who is standing here with his armed men and everyone, he in no way could reach up there into the sea to help her. So return or aid preventing. The stormy waves lashed the shore, preventing any aid or help from this side to the girl or the return of the girl to the shore. Both were prevented. The waters wild went over his child, and he was left lamenting. So So water wide went over the child means the big waves finally engulfed or swallowed up that small boat and resulted in the death of his daughter, that chief of Ullin'S island, as well as the boatmen also. So they all three perished, the boat was destroyed, they were covered up, and Lord Ullin was left lamenting, being sorry for whatever he had done. So as I said earlier, had he at that time accepted this lover of his daughter and arranged for their marriage, all this situation would not have taken place. He would not have lost his daughter in this sad circumstances. So his rigidity, his belief in his own set of rules made his daughter die and made him also lose his daughter. So that's what the poem is all about. There are a lot of alliterations, there are a lot of repetitions. Alliteration, I think you know, where words or alphabets are repeated. So a lot of them here. You can see words being repeated regularly. Oh haste, thee haste, words repeated, alliteration. Then you will have words or phrases like though the waves are raging white. Okay, waves and white, WW. T and T of though the, so like that. So there are many alliterations and other repetitions of words, which is the main figure of speech in this poem. Otherwise, it's a simplistic poem which you can understand easily. It's the form of a ballad which tells the story of these two lovers who unfortunately lost their lives because of the strong views of the girl's father, who did not want to accept such a chieftain or a nobleman as his son-in-law. So that resulted in it. But finally, in the end, he is left lamenting, he is left being sad and wishing he had not been so strict and rigid. And if he had not been so, then he would not have lost his daughter. So that's the poem, Lord Ull's Daughter. I hope you have understood. And if so, of course, like and share this video and subscribe to my channel. And thank you.